What's up, YouTube? And this time I'm talking about this retirement age. I think it's at 67 right now. They may try and raise it to 70, but I don't think millennials and younger, millennials is my generation, will make it there. And it's just because you have people who are burned out at these jobs. They don't feel like the jobs care about them. Jobs want you to give them 2 weeks notice if you want to quit, but you can show up there and your key card doesn't work, access denied. As soon as they let you go for whatever reason, you instantly replaced. You got artificial intelligence that's continued to break ground. And by the year 2030, we may see a whole nother shift in everything. And so I think my generation and younger, my generation born started in 1981 to 1997, that's the youngest of the millennials. And then after, I don't see us making it to that retirement age. There'll be some that go all the way to 67, or if they decide to raise it to 70. But I think a lot of people from 1981 and younger are going to find different ways to bring in income. So they might not necessarily even retire at 67, but just be bringing in income working for themselves versus being at a job. And some may be done working before 67, but I really don't see with the burnout. And you have things like quiet quitting, and then you go to this quiet cracking, which is, I heard people who are the most devoted to the jobs, they at every meeting they put in they A+ effort, but even they have grown tired of being on the hamster wheel. And then again, you hear people complaining about wages or what they pay you at the jobs isn't keeping up with the cost of living. I've seen plenty of videos of people sitting in their car complaining about not wanting to go back in. They make these videos on their lunch, but the younger generation is just not really going to conform and go 40, 45 years and retire at 67. I think you'll see it could go half and half. It could go majority. Like I said, some will go all the way 67, collect the full Social Security benefits from my generation and younger. I talked to this teacher down in North Carolina, and his students talk about streaming on YouTube, playing games. We were discussing that and how you have these gamer channels and they play for hours and they'll have thousands of people watching, and YouTube pays them for doing this. They get their direct deposit each month from YouTube. And he said his students have brought that up to him. So he's talking about this younger generation already looking at different ways to make money. He's saying it's changing in terms of their mindset. And that's part of where I don't think my generation, millennials and younger, so we get to Generation Z, and after Generation Z, that's Generation Alpha. And those are people being born 2015 up to now. In 2025, the mindset will be different just because of working conditions. Not only the work-life balance, but just where they'll feel more secure, because you have people complaining about not having job security. They don't feel confident that their job will be there. You got people doing the bare minimum as a way to kind of protest corporate America. And so I really don't see my generation, a lot of us, going all the way to 67. And some people may never stop actually working, but they'll work for themselves. And that can be past the age of 70, but it won't be, I have to be here at 7:30 a.m. and then leave at 4 p.m. It won't be any of that. Because you see more and more videos coming along where, and these people, my generation on down, will be the next people to take in these spots as baby boomers and Generation X exit out of the workforce. And I'm not talking about baby boomers who you may see at Walmart being greeters, just trying to make some extra side money. I'm talking about public sector with the government and private sector jobs, like if you work at Apple or a company like that, at the bank. I just don't see as they move out. There's even some Gen Xers that may even take their retirement at 62. I talked to one. He made 56 this year, and he said, I'm taking the 80% when I turn 62. I'm not going all the way to 67. He said he's burned out. I made a video about my conversation with this 56-year-old individual. It's still on my channel. So you even have Generation X's that are tired. And I think it's just the conditions and how they look at the economy and why people are looking for a different way out. You got some people that are just tired of working, and then you have others that don't mind doing it, but they just want to do it for themselves or do it in a different way and have the work-life balance. And so now the whole key is to finding where we get the other income from. Of course, you got people that want to be YouTubers, you have that, and then people just trying to find other ways. I heard one lady say on YouTube, it's not about work, it's about create. So we have to change the titles around, and now we have to get in the mindset of creating and not working. And through that creating, you'll get the money and the income to continue your lifestyle, pay your bills, etc., go on vacation. Things are changing. It's almost, some people fear it's humans versus the machines being AI. AI is not about to take everything at the moment, but things are pointing to that as we get into 2030 and beyond. That year always comes up in just so many different videos and people talking about what's to come. Everything points to that year 2030. Even more so, Agenda 2030. They have a website and they have 17 goals that they want to accomplish by the year 2030. And so that's going to take some major overhauling. But all of that ties into the workforce, who's going to be a part of it, who's tired of it. And, there are already people in my generation and younger who are looking for ways out, trying to retire early. They're not just about to sit here to age 67 and then take the full Social Security benefits. They looking for other avenues. I've heard one baby boomer tell me, she's 71. She said, don't even depend on Social Security. She gets it. But that was her advice to me. She said, find other ways of income. Don't just sit here waiting for Social Security. She even went as far as to say she doesn't even know if it would be there when it's time for me to take it. I made 40 this year, so I got 27 years before I can get full benefits of Social Security. I don't know if it'll be there or not, but she just said don't depend on it. That's a 71-year-old lady's advice to me, who's already on Social Security right now. So I think a lot more of my generation are starting to see that, trying to wake up and just go a different route. Like I said, you'll still have some that, maybe kind of comfortable right now, maybe get a pension as well for the companies that offer it. So they're just going to ride it out until age 67, as long as they don't get let go for, the different reasons these companies give, restructuring, trying to get finances in order. So they want to cut salaries, all of the reasons they give, even though it's nothing you did wrong, but they have to trim the fat, cut the fat to help the company stay afloat and meet certain budget fiscal year numbers, all of their Q1, Q2 projections, all of that business lingo. And so people, in knowing that, are not just about to sit around, especially the younger people, and try and wrap this out to age 67. People are going to find different ways. Social media is a great avenue to explore and trying to see maybe how they can sell certain products online and take it in that route and go that way. Or if they can teach people what they know online, that's definitely a place where money can be made. Everything is online already, and it's just more and more so going in that direction. And so we have to not be afraid of learning how to do things online and operate a business that way. But I just don't see my generation waiting around to 67. You all may feel differently. Some people from my generation and younger may feel differently. Maybe they want to go all the way to 67. But people see so many other examples, especially YouTube and being a content creator. People are looking for multiple streams of income, not just one job, and then hopefully you get to stay on and you make it all the way through to 67 and put enough away in your 401k as well. People just don't know. And with the AI looming, will there be any jobs to even retire to? At least there won't be as many as there are now, as they cut out certain positions and let the AI do it. Your jobs report is unfortunate when you see that. Unemployment is up to 4.3%, and they only added 22,000 jobs in August of 2025 in the entire United States. And they did a revised report from April 2024 to March 2025. 911,000 jobs were missed that were also lost. So now you have to readjust all of these jobs reports. And so the job market is much weaker than they thought. And so all of this ties into, why am I staying here to 67, trying to get to this retirement age for the next, in my case, 27 years. You're a little bit older than me, and you born in 81. You got 31 more years to hit 67. Or nope, 33 more years. I did it wrong. Because if you 44 now, 33 more years. Then you'll hit 23 more years, then you'll hit 67. Sorry about the math. And then, are you willing to stick it out that long? That's 20 plus years. Even at the oldest of my generation, born in 1981. 23 years, 27 for me if you're 40, and trying to go all the way to 67. And do you even think that your job will be secure before you can even make it to that? That's the other thing. So it's just some things to think about in terms of where everything is going in this economy. I think my generation and younger is going to have a different attitude towards it in terms of which way they want to go, and if they're even going to depend on jobs, corporate America. You look at the school system and home economics, been gone in high school. Trades, shop class, been gone. They just funnel you into college degree and then get a job. That's the mindset they want people to have. If you want to trade, you just have to, after high school, go and apply for that on your own. But yeah, it's definitely making people feel uncomfortable in what's on the way, and just trying to find different ways to make sure you have enough saved and not just focus on 67 at being a retirement age. You can go past that, but you're making money for yourself and not dependent on a job, or you can be done before 67. So people just have to be creative, and I think the wheels are turning in my generation's head and younger about what next steps are, and not just being at one job. Generation Z definitely feels that way. Generation Alpha after them, they're only 10, the oldest of them, so they're not in working years yet, but they may do things a completely non-traditional way by the time they're old enough to get a job. So I think that's where we're headed, and trying to go 22 when you graduate from college to 67 and then retire. That's going the way of the dinosaur. People that's becoming extinct. And just keep your eyes open and be on the lookout, and just see how people approach the job market and jobs in general as more people enter the workforce for the first time. If you Gen Z, everybody in my millennial generation, they're all old enough to work, but then just watch how whatever pivots they might make to go in a different direction, because it's definitely changing. And I don't think younger people will go to the age of 67 for retirement. Not that they can't make it, but just don't feel like it's worth it. There'll be some, but I think those numbers are going to go down in terms of who's staying on the job until 67 years old. So, what do you guys think down in the comments about retirement age at 67? Are millennials and younger going to go around that and not just sitting around till age 67, then collect full Social Security benefits? And do you think that, jobs as we know it are changing? Uh, what's your plan? And, put that all down in the comments of what you all think in terms of where this is going, especially with AI. Put that all down in the comments. I'm open to hear everything. Send any topics or videos you want me to discuss to my email address, which is in the description of this video, cregier.mj@gmail.com. That's CREGIER.mj@gmail.com. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Channel is Facts or Feelings, all one word, no spaces. Put that in the YouTube search, Facts or Feelings, no spaces, and my channel comes right up. And yeah, another 27 years for me. And like I said, if you're born in 81, you got another 23 years. You're 44 now to get to 67. That's still 20 plus years, even for the oldest of my generation, born in 1981. 23 more years. Who's going to sit around for another 20 plus years just to get to retirement that maybe we shouldn't depend on or may not even be there? So yeah, just wanted to make sure I correct that math on that too. Not 30 some years. That would be for somebody, some Gen Xer that was born in like the 70s. But anyway, either way, they may not go all the way to 67 either. It's just where we're at right now. And again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Trying to get off the hamster wheel and make it to some type of comfortable retirement is crazy out here. AI is getting stronger, so let's just make sure we be aware and make plans and create. I'm out.